MrBeast has solved YouTube audience retention, hitting over 70% retention with every video that he makes. But how does he do it? Well, in this video, I'll uncover the exact strategy that MrBeast uses to smash his intros every single time. Now, I've spent the last 2 weeks analysing all the videos, interviews and tweets that I could find, and what I found truly shocked me. So you'll be able to copy and implement this strategy into your own content, even if you're a small or brand new channel, and even if you're in a completely different niche. Now, your introduction is pretty much a make or break for the success of your video. Once a viewer has decided to click on your video, you've only got 30 seconds to hook them in and make them want to stay. Otherwise, they're gone for good. If you go into your YouTube Studio app and look at your retention graph, the biggest drop off is always within the first 30 seconds. Now, this is because the first 30 seconds is the easiest opportunity for viewers to click off a video if they aren't feeling immediately satisfied. Now, viewers essentially pay creators with their time and concentration, and this is the most valuable resource on the YouTube platform. Whenever a random viewer clicks on a video, they subconsciously make a decision that they think this video might be worth their time and concentration. So if at any point within the first 30 seconds they begin to doubt that this video is worth their time, they're going to immediately click off and look elsewhere. But why is it that the first 30 seconds is so important, and how do you prove to your viewers that your video is worth their time? Well, to properly understand this, we actually first have to understand the introduction actually starts when a viewer is on the homepage. Because the actual introduction begins when they first see your title and thumbnail. As soon as they see that, their viewing journey begins. Within 2 seconds, they're subconsciously deciding whether or not your video might be worth their time. Titles and thumbnails set the expectations of the video, and then the first 5 seconds of your introduction need to deliver on those expectations, which is what I like to refer to as the immediate payoff. There should be 2 types of payoff in your video: the immediate and then the actual payoff. The immediate payoff is obviously right at the start of the video, and it essentially acts as a reward to your viewers for clicking on the video. And then the actual payoff is the rest of the video afterwards. So MrBeast actually has a 2-step formula for the immediate payoff within the first 5 seconds. The main objective of his first 5 seconds is to match the expectations of his thumbnail and title, as this is what made the viewer click in the first place. So he needs to prove to them that the rest of the video delivers on that promise. MrBeast does this in 2 steps. Let's watch one of his intros, and this time see if you can guess what they are.
I'm going to attempt to spend the next 7 days in solitary confinement. Seal me up. Bye, Jimmy. Oh.
Well, his 2-step formula is his first sentence matches the title and his first shot matches a thumbnail. So essentially, the first 5 seconds of his videos are an exact continuation of his titles and thumbnails, which he basically uses to reward the viewer for clicking on his video. Because once they click on his video and see the first 5 seconds, they're subconsciously thinking, yes, this video is actually going to be quite good. So just to put that into some sort of context, the example I just showed you, the title says, I spend 7 days in solitary confinement. And within the first 5 seconds, he literally goes,
I'm going to attempt to spend the next 7 days in solitary confinement.
Which is literally exactly the same as the title. Now, you'll also notice that in the thumbnail, you see him sitting on a chair in an orange jumpsuit in what looks like a white box style room. And as you can see in the introduction, it's pretty much exactly that. White room, orange jumpsuit and chair. Now, what this actually means is that there's no deviation whatsoever from the title and the thumbnail in the first scene, so the viewer hasn't yet had a chance to have any doubts creep in. Now, if your first scene in the first 5 seconds doesn't replicate the title and thumbnail, your viewers will start having doubts creep in. And the most common doubt is this video going to follow through on the promise of its title and thumbnail? So if your introduction doesn't match the title and thumbnail, your viewers will already be doubting that this video will follow through because nothing yet is actually matching up. And this is where you'll see the biggest drop off in retention. Now let's look at this example here. The title of this video is I survived 50 hours in Antarctica. And you can see a close-up shot of him and a background of Antarctica. The colours you see here are blue, white and red. So let's play it.
We just landed in Antarctica and we're gonna survive the next 50 hours here. We're literally at the bottom of the globe.
So in the opening scenes, he literally says, we just landed in Antarctica and we're gonna spend the next 50 hours here, which is again, pretty much exactly what he says in the title. But if you paid close attention, the colours were exactly the same as the thumbnail too. Red, the background is white, and blue. So there's 3 colours that are exactly the same from the thumbnail. Again, complete continuation from the thumbnail itself. Now this is all done by design. There is no coincidence here whatsoever. Now if you've actually been paying attention, can you remember what I said at the start of my video? Well, I said, well, in this video, I'll uncover the exact strategy that MrBeast uses. Now this was my example of the immediate payoff value that I used to hook you in and promise you that this video was worth watching. See, it works. So, once you've made it through the first 5 seconds and you've hooked your viewer, the next 20 to 30 seconds also really count. Because to keep up retention throughout the entire introduction, MrBeast always uses the same 3 core elements. Number 1 is provide context, number 2 is introduce the main payoff, and number 3 is create curiosity. So let's hop back to the solitary confinement video and I'll show you exactly how he provides all these 3 elements. So this is how he provides context.
I'm going to attempt to spend the next 7 days in solitary confinement. Seal me up. Bye, Jimmy. Hopefully I don't go insane. For the next 7 days, I have to survive in this soundproof white room with 0 human contact and 0 stimulation.
This is what he says. He says, for the next 7 days, I have to survive in a soundproof white room with 0 human contact and 0 stimulation. So by saying that, he's literally explaining exactly what's going to happen in this video. He's essentially setting the stage and helping you understand the context of the video so you can really immerse yourself into the challenge with him. Like 7 days in a white room with no human interaction. That's exactly what the stage is for the rest of the video. But of course, this is a challenge and you as a viewer are expecting some sort of struggle for entertainment, of course. And you want this to be a hard challenge with a big payoff. So that's where his next sentence comes in, which is crucial.
And because this is actually psychologically dangerous, the most important thing is the doctor outside making sure I don't go insane.
I worked in psych hospitals for 23 years, and this is much worse than anything I've ever seen.
He says, quote unquote, and because this is actually psychologically dangerous, the most important thing is a doctor outside making sure I don't go insane. This, essentially guys, is introducing the main payoff. And then the doctor reiterates his point by saying,
I worked in psych hospitals for 23 years, and this is much worse than anything I've ever seen.
I've worked in psych hospitals for 23 years, and this is much worse than anything I've ever seen before. And this sentence alone creates intense curiosity because now the stakes are high and you're going to want to stick around to see what actually happens to him. So within these first 20 seconds of the introduction, he's provided context by setting the stage, and then he's introduced the main payoff by telling you the details of the challenge, and then he's created a whole lot of curiosity by introducing a doctor to reinforce his claims, and of course introduce some sort of fear and suddenly make it really intense. Now to prove to you that he does this with every video, let's go back to the Antarctica example.
We just landed in Antarctica and we're gonna survive the next 50 hours here. We're literally at the bottom of the globe at the coldest place on Earth.
So he says things like, we're at the bottom of the globe on the coldest place on Earth. The coldest place on Earth. And also he says,
first, we need to trek towards that mountain to get some protection from the wind.
This is the most beautiful place I've ever seen.
First, we need to trek to that mountain to get some protection from the wind. And then he proves to you just how difficult it is by showing you that a blizzard has already hit and that they're beginning to struggle.
There's already a blizzard incoming. Just our luck. The weather's so bad already. This is so bad. Holy crap. What are the odds that a blizzard...
All within the first 30 seconds. So yeah, I mean, I challenge you to go through any of his videos over the last couple of years, and I promise you they will have exactly the same strategy. Now to simplify this so you can take it away and implement it in your videos, this is how I break it down. The first 5 seconds of your video need to match the title and thumbnail for immediate payoff, which is the hook. And then the next 20 seconds need to provide context, you need to introduce the main payoff, and you need to create some curiosity. Now, of course, look, I know not everyone is going to create the same videos as MrBeast, and your structure might be somewhat different than this due to the fact the nature of your content is completely different. However, guys, the same rules still apply. You just need to figure out how best to structure your videos with these elements. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'd like to see you in the next one. So don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment down below, and please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.